Hello, everyone. I'm Edith Wolek. I'm here with Andrea Luzon. Hello, Andrea.
Hello, thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
Oh, you're welcome. Please tell us a little bit about yourself and what do you do now?
Sure. Oh my goodness. I do so many things and I'm working on being instead of doing. That's kind of what my work is really all about is how are you being in the world versus doing or at least as you're doing, how are you being? And the reason I have been stepping forward in that work is because it's my own personal journey. So I am a sacred freedom mentor and a biofield therapist. And basically, your biofield is the frequencies of energy that make up your garden of health and well-being. So that might sound like a lot, but basically it's kind of like how are you carrying yourself? What kind of energy are you giving off? And what kind of energy are you allowing in? So I get to hold space for individuals in untangling their energy where it got a little scrambled or where it's feeling lethargic, balancing out that energy and then like reinvigorating the frequencies that are moving in and around them. And it's been such a fun journey. My 1 hour sessions with clients are really where I would like to live most of my entire life. And I know we're going to talk a lot about the journey of the entrepreneur and that balance between getting to do the work we love and then there's the back of house or the front of house work, the calling in of the clients. And then the other piece, so I spoke about the biofield therapy. That's the 1 hour energy sessions. And then the sacred freedom coach aspect is more of the guidance and the support and the accountability that a lot of people are looking for outside of an energetic massage, having more of a partner or a co-captain as you move through your journey of self rediscovery. There you go. And I have
Wow.
a 6 month program. Yeah, Awake Free Expansive. I found it a lot more welcoming. It's now called the Awakening Freedom program. And that's the 1 hour sessions plus that support, accountability, and guidance to really walk someone. Generally, women are magnetized to me and I'm magnetized to them. So that a 6 month journey of walking back to yourself.
Amazing. Tell us a little bit about Reiki because not many people know about it.
Well, Reiki is one energy modality. So reconnective healing, one thing that I love about it is it's not about facing a certain direction or having certain crystals or stones or candle or incense or so it's really just more my experience of reconnective healing is that it's more about trust, sort of trusting that I'm holding space for the person who is my client and that the universe has that person and my highest good in store. So my logo is a triangle and with the rainbow DNA strand going up the middle. And I really like to think that one corner is the client, the other lower corner is me, and then the universe is connecting all three of us together. And so it's really catalyzing. Basically, I'm a catalyst. I'm like an antenna. And so it's not a giving, there's no giving involved. My understanding of energy work is that it's not about giving, it's really just about opening up and holding space for someone in whatever is in their highest good.
Fascinating. So, what motivated you to start your business and when did you start your business?
The motivation for starting my business. How long do you have? How long do you have? Um, through my 20s, I was skipping around the universe, traveling internationally, teaching English abroad, really following my intuition. And then, right in my early 30s, I came back to the Midwest of the United States after living in LA, DC, Berlin,
Wow.
England, just around Japan, living in a few places and just following my guidance. So upon returning, I bought a house. So and then I met a man and quickly got married. So, so for me, the desire to start my business was watching what happened, witnessing myself go from intuitive person to it was like the buying of the house and the settling down really brought up trauma, brought up kind of like my inner story of unworthiness and not belonging and being an outsider. So it brought a lot of that to the surface. So I got a real safe job in corporate America and kept staying year after year after year after year and feeling worse and worse and worse, just feeling like something inside was dying. And it came to a breaking point just a few years ago, came to a big breaking point, called a friend who sent me, she basically said, it's like you keep slapping band-aids on yourself and you're just bleeding out. Are you just going to keep slapping band-aids? Or are you going to really do the inner work to reawaken that fire, that passion, that lust for life that you used to have? And we had known each other in our early 20s as well. So she knew how disconnected I had become. Oh, I'm going to get emotional. And so listening to her and then going to school to study spiritual psychology and soul-centered living, and then moving forward from there to do the heart core leadership. And that's one of the ways that I know Edith, you, Edith. So yeah, so that deep inner work has really just shown me that a lot of women are in that situation where we go from living our own life and being passionate and really in tune with the world. And then we shift. And for me personally, the switch of the roles and the increase in responsibility just led me to just shutting off all the intuition and all of the like fire and juiciness and like dancing and playing and being fun. I just shoved it all in the back seat and was like, nope. Someone's got to drive this car. So let's be serious and let's make only safe choices. Never take a risk again because there's people depending on me. So that inspired me looking at all of the work that I had done, even in my 20s, some of the spiritual deep dive work and looking at when was I the most passionate? What kind of inner work was I doing? And how can I bring that to other moms, other women, other adults who are just ready? They're not ready. They want to get the head out of the sand. They want to look around. They want to get playful again. They're willing to do the work and they would like someone to hold their hand and just be in it with them, fully immersed.
Yeah, sometimes that's all what it takes, to hold somebody's hands, hold the space for them, and just be there to listen to them, because not many people nowadays are open enough to listen to others and respond in a positive way, because there is so much negativity around, and it's not easily accessible to get somebody who is positive and open and see you as your higher self.
Agreed. Yeah. And I'd like to think that that's one of the things that sets me apart, is that I am naturally enthusiastic and naturally all about the team, it's not just the other person, and it's not allowing that person to blame. It's funny how we've probably talked about this before, but the difference between commiserating with someone and being present and in a conversation and moving forward with someone. A lot of our society, like you were saying, just the negativity and how we interpret feedback. It's interesting how often, like gossip, just that concept of commiserating or gossip. And then, sometimes we get to be careful of what we're putting out there in our friendships or our career cohorts. Are we commiserating and just like complaining about life? Or are we actually connecting and bonding and being authentic?
Totally agree, 100%. And can you tell us a little bit about what steps have you taken to to start your business once you were motivated?
Mhm. Well, once I declared to start the business, I also just a few months before had met a powerful business coach. And even though it felt like a huge leap to invest in something I didn't understand, didn't know if I needed it, wasn't sure of the right steps, but she came highly recommended. And I felt like I trusted her. And so having like someone to hold my hand and hold me accountable and also be supportive, and also someone who had a lot of experience. So she was able to say, this is what has worked for, hundreds of women before you and the 100 plus women who have already worked with me. So yeah, I did start with a business coach.
So that's perfect, because that's what we need to lean into, investing in somebody that can help us, because we don't know how to. Some people are not that technical. Some people are not naturally born business people. So we get to, instead of spending years and years on learning, it's best to invest in somebody that can help you one to one, and propel you through your business, and speed up the process.
That's such a good way to put it. And it's kind of that way with the self-care, the energy healing as well. It's like, I mean, I don't know how many people who are listening have had a massage before, but I have found that it's just a way that another human can hold space for you in regards to how you're feeling, how confident you are, how's your body feeling, how's your mind feeling? Are you feeling like connected to your purpose? And you wouldn't think that a physical massage or an energetic massage would support you in that way, but I have found that it does. And a lot of the women I know who are kicking it, they really do have a lot of they have nourishing self-care practices. It can be 5 minutes a day, it can be an hour a week, it can be whatever it looks like for you.
Yeah, that's what I get to figure out. That's my next step into self-care. Massage every month.
Yes, at
What would you
least.
recommend?
Yeah, I am staying committed. It's been a couple years. My husband actually got me purchased for me prenatal massages when I was having kids, and I was pregnant with twins 7 years ago,
Wow.
and almost 8 years ago, and that was just such a treat. And I had had massages a few times, but a prenatal massage was really interesting. But it was nice how that having that while pregnant just kind of showed me that just the trajectory that was possible, like how good you can feel, and how just it's nice to have a routine of self-care. And so even once a month, I find still feels rejuvenating.
Yes, I remember those days vaguely. Prenatal memories, but yeah, wanted to ask you whether you know any specific. I know as a business owner, you get to have goals, and you get to set yourself specific goals. How do you do that? Do you have any techniques of on doing that?
Yes, I am sure that you, Edith, are familiar with Shanda Sumter. I don't know if your viewers are yet familiar, but you probably will be soon if you're not. So Shanda Sumter has uh, she has a lot of successful business programs, leadership programs, and ways to get yourself out there as an entrepreneur. And so I've been working with one of her VIPs. Her name is Sasha Sterling. I will recommend her. That is my business coach. And so the way that they have what they share, their modality, if you will, of growing business is to offer an interview series, and then to, at the end of the interview series, have a way that your viewer or the person you're interacting with, your ideal client, how can they interact with you? So some kind of, maybe you have a workshop, maybe you have a even a PDF of some tips that have worked for you in the past. So some kind of give some kind of way that they get to decide if they like you more, if they want to be around you more. So offering something like that. And then, so for me, I guess I'll apply this to myself. How about tell a story about me? So starting November 1st, I am going to interview, I think I'm going to keep it to nine guests, have an interview for nine guests. I love the concept of living limitless, like going from the misbeliefs and the limited thinking into the unlimited potential, unlimited thinking. So that's going to be the interview series. And then after that, I'm going to offer a workshop. And then as those individuals get to know me better and stick around, then offer them to join my 6-month Awakening Freedom program, which we will have some preliminary meetings towards the end of the year. And then we will launch and get together and kind of, hit the ground running and really dive deep together starting in the new year.
That
Working for me.
that's a big goal. Yeah. Big
Yeah,
goal.
yeah.
But
Mhm.
but you get to have it because you set yourself that goal and you sourcing it and you've taken specific steps in order to achieve that goal.
Yeah. And I know you do that as well. So like branding, marketing, like how do we get that all out there?
Yeah.
It is and it can feel, and I know you kind of asked a little bit, or we talked before recording, we were talking about challenges. And so sometimes for me, because I've talked about how the energetic bubble, that energy session feels like home, and
Yeah.
that's where I'd like to spend most of my time with the client in this energy session and then the processes that we do together afterwards. And yet there's the back of house of the business. There's the bringing yourself forward out into the world. And so that's the part that I've kind of rubbed up against a bit, is that time management, that I just want to be in these energy sessions and I want to be working with the people, and yet there's the back of house bit that gets to be prioritized
Admin. Yeah.
as well. Yeah. That's a
Admin
big
and
deal.
yes, and staying connected with your audience and
Yeah.
reaching out to them and being in service.
Mhm.
So it's not only about the technical bit and not about the actual service that you're giving, but everything behind the scenes.
And I loved what you just said there. The connecting, it's like the maintaining your connection with the why. Why are you doing it? And that's where I have faltered, is that sometimes the details get to feel like a have to, because they're a little bit, I have found them to be a little bit mechanical. Like I have to do XYZ, ABCD, all the things. And
Mhm.
then sometimes the why, the 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 focusing on the service aspect, I get detached from it, and then it just becomes ABCD. These pieces need to be done. And so that's where I get to grow, is that in those moments. um just today I had a morning ritual session and we danced. So i so i do a Facebook Live every Monday, and it started with a group through a leadership team that I had, and we were having dance parties. And then we were also having sort of a morning ritual meditation group as well. And they were on different days at different times, or we tried to do them together, and then they would be like an hour, and we wanted them to be concise. So the ritual meditation piece has continued, and yet we lost a bit of the dancing and the mood and the getting back in the body and having fun. So not just the meditation and like going within and the silence, but also the let's jump around, let's be silly, let's remember to play. So I've been reincorporating that I get to have fun and be in my joy and be playful, and also make sure that I'm setting up the structure in the business and in the program, so that this is would you mind if I shared an analogy?
No, of course not.
So a friend of mine whom I adore, who's also in the energy work and, supporting and guiding people. So he was sharing with me, Andrea, I hear you saying that sometimes it's becoming a have to, or you're struggling with a to-do list. So what if he was saying, in my understanding, women especially, or the creative flow, let's just say being creative, is often even more flow. It's coming through us more naturally when there's some structure. Like we could even just say going, sleeping every night, allows you to have more energy the next day. And so I loved how he said, it's like you're baking a cake. So you're baking a cake and, here's all the ingredients: flour, sugar, water, eggs, milk, whatever. But if you put it all on the table, it would just splash everywhere and it would be a giant mess. So when you're in the tech, when you're in the pieces of the structure of your business, you're creating the bowl. You're just creating the mixing bowl so that all that creative flow can happen and you get to bake a great cake. And I just really appreciated that.
That's a great analogy, and
Yeah.
it's very illustrative
Yeah.
that people can follow.
Yeah. And it just gives me a fun visual to think, the mechanics aren't bad and they don't have to be frustrating if you are staying in connection with the fact that this is going to be the most beautiful cake. When I'm done, it just has to have a bowl. So putting my left foot in front of my right foot, B follows A, is just building the bowl to make it great, to have your project be successful or your goal to come to fruition.
Fabulous. So I think we're coming to the end of the interview. Do you have a present, I hear, a gift for our audience?
Yes, I do. I have a 10 session mini course that's available through audio or video or script if you're more of a reader, that can appeal to you. But regardless, I will put a link below. It is called 10 Ways to Move Beyond Your Old Story. And it's really about shifting from anything that's holding you back in your life, any limitations that you're putting on yourself, and moving into who do you want to be, moving back to your intentions, your values, being in your intentions. I will place that in Edith's hands for all of you.
Yes, we'll put the link within the email, and everyone who is watching is going to receive it. So thank you so much for your time and for your wisdom and for all those beautiful stories that you get to share with us. And really, really appreciate you coming on.
Thank you so much. This has been really fun.
Thank you. Bye.